Kitty, I don't know if I've ever bitched as much as I've bitched in the playthrough besides my Final Fantasy 1 solo challenge, air quotation marks, that I fucked up. I should have played on the NES version. I didn't know. Well, the Origins version is on PlayStation, and it has Final Fantasy 1 and 2, and it's like the Wonder Swan colors, which is like some kind of crazy Japanese console, portable kind of console. And so they kind of put those games together. They might have added a couple of things, and then like, oh, here it is. You can play Final Fantasy 1 on PlayStation, which was a big deal at the time because, for anybody who might have missed the NES or even the Super NES, and their first game was Final Fantasy 7, they want to see, well, what is Final Fantasy? And so, to play the original one. And I liked about the Origins was that it had the original difficulty and most. I thought it fixed a lot of the bugs. Apparently, it didn't. It's pretty close to the original, actually. But it just had some new graphics, renamed the enemies, some mild balance changes. Like you could just buy 99 potions in one go instead of buying them one at a time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my solo game, and I already knew. If I was to pick any of the solo ones, I would pick the black belt because I know he would punch like hard, and I know on Origins the bosses have like double hit points, and so I should have played on the original one. I didn't know. I'd forgotten that there was a memo there. A memo essentially being a save state. The game allows you to save state anytime you want to. Just press R2 and hit save, and if you turn your game off, you lose the save state. And I resisted using it up until you got to the wizards. The wizards in the swamp cave where you're trying to get the crown for Astros. And I knew when I was going to get to those wizards, well, there's either 2 wizards or there's 4 wizards in that random battle. I could beat 2 and I can't beat 4. And so, I hit the down memo save right there. And then I went in there and there's 4 and I was like, God damn it. And so, yep, from there on we memo saved. Memo saved all this shit because the game's clearly not designed to be run by one character. You're running a set of 9 enemies, and it's just one guy. And even though you could easily beat those 9 enemies individually, they'll somehow all 9 go, and then your guy will go, and you'll kill one because you hit hard as fuck. And then there'll be 8 enemies on the next turn, and so then 8 enemies will go, and then you'll go. And it's just like the random number Jesus is just he's turned into Satan. He's against me, man. And he's a dickhead. And there's so much cheap shit from the stunning zombies to just enemies just piling on damage real fast before you get to go. Or there's lots of enemies that you can't actually run away. There's sequences of enemies that you can't run away from. If you played a lot of these damn weird challenges or stuff, maybe you knew that. I knew a couple of them, but I really didn't have in mind what you could run from because I never needed hard to run. I would just kill everything as I ran into the game. In a typical Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 1, you're kind of like in this slow, methodical grind till you're about level 10 or so. Then your butt backs start being real good. Then you're able to beat Astros, so now that you're thieves, if the thief's something no matter what, but he'll actually get some decent swords. Your fighter, he's definitely got his silver swords. Your mages have their level 4, so they can start casting some decent spells. Level 3 is also a decent spell for mages. And after you get to level 10 or whatever, your part where you just need to continuously grind all the time, Dragon Warrior style, kind of evaporates, and you just can just play, especially if you know where you're going, just play through the castles and stuff, kill everything on your way, and you don't have to stop and grind no more. This when you're doing a solo challenge, that's all you fucking do is grind. And I thought, well, it's gonna be great because he gets 4 times the experience. It's like, okay, so he has to kill all those enemies by himself, but he'll get 4 times the experience. And so it's going to be great. No, it's terrible. He takes so much damn damage until you can afford to buy a shit ton of potions. You're just kind of forced to go to town after every other damn fight. Oh, you fought 2 ogres. You did great. You killed them in 2 rounds, but one of them got to go twice on you. You can't. You gotta have to go and save because you don't know if you might run into a combination of 2 ogres and some freaking damn stupid worm guys. Oh, you'll be fucked. It just becomes just this drag, man. It's this drag where you're forced to hang outside of the town. You feel like you're level 1 in Dragon Warrior when you're fighting slimes. That's what it feels, and it feels like a huge proportion of the game. And you're like in your 20s and stuff. Your guys level like a beast. enemies are running from you, and you still don't feel like you can just go through and just do a level. You might just run into a random set of enemies that's gonna fuck you over, man. Or the most likely scenarios, you could probably beat them, but it'll take like 20 potions. It's like you can only carry 99. You can only carry 99 potions with you, and you might just be drained, especially on levels that were traditionally, hard, like the damn Ice Cave. The Ice Cave is one of the roughest damn levels in all the Final Fantasies. Everybody remembers the goddamn Ice Cave. Because you had the fucking sorcerers, you had the damn mages, you had the freaking undeads. The eye is in there. That's where you get experience from killing that eye. But, who gives a shit about the eye, really? He has a chance to rub you, but, just don't care too much. But it's all exacerbated when you're one guy. And the flaws of the game are massively exacerbated. And, things like Origins allow you to just kind of cast, you don't have to sit there and when you cast like Fire 2, you don't have to sit there and wait for it to hit each monster and get, tell you. You just hit them all and it'll get you, and it would be fast. Nope, not here, not at all. And so what I found was you level up to extremely high levels just so that you can take a beating, so that you can get through these areas with your potions. And I have memos saved like a motherfucker at the end of it, man, because you get fed up, you get tired. I wasn't having any fun. What did I kill? Like 300 something goblins on my first down run. On my first playthrough. It's like, what the fuck? It was terrible, man. And so, and what's funny is that the black belt's actually pretty good at solo. When as he gains levels, he gets his he punches better, and there's like hard caps. So it's like, oh, level like 9 or 10 or whatever, you get extra 2 hits, and then at 22 you get an extra 2 hits, and then it's so by the end of it, you're getting like 10 hits or whatever, and you're just fucking up everything. And there's hard caps to like levels, so you're just basically just praying, hoping that you're going to get to fucking the next level, so you can get the big punches out, and your magic defense will go up as a black belt as well. And so it ends up, well, he doesn't wear anything, and he's actually pretty damn strong. And there was no versatility in running that build until like you could finally get to the usable items. And anyone who's played through Final Fantasy 1 knows how good the usable items were. It's like when you get your Zeus gauntlets, or your black robes, or your white robes, or your defender sword, or your mage's staff, and you just like, and your bane sword. All that stuff was just adds so much to that game. And it's like your character's incompetent until he can actually get that shit. And what you need to do is get a defender sword. It casts ruse on yourself. You stack up ruse 3 or 4 times, and then the only way that monster can hit you is to be a critical hit. And then you're in the Temple of Fiends or whatever it is. The Temple of Fiends pass removed. Okay, so it's like 7 or 8 down levels. It's super hard. You got gas dragons and all that other shit just melting your face off. And I don't have any potions left. What do I gotta do? I stack up ruse a couple times in a round, and then I slowly, over like 20 turns, use the heal helmet on myself to get my life up. And I'm like, okay, I understand how people are doing these challenges. Oh my god, it's terrible. It's fucking bad. Oh, the best part of Final Fantasy has always been the party dynamic, and when you take that out to just be one guy, it crushes the game. And so, like, my personal favorite Final Fantasy ever, because it's so replayable, because it's like you can always pick a different party, and your party changes how you play and your routines and stuff. It's like, well, you're just one fucking guy. And it's terrible, man. It's bad. And so, I bitched him on. I was depressed. I did do it. I mean, although it doesn't really count officially. I should have played on a Nintendo where I couldn't down save state myself. But, I mean... Dude, I bitched so much. I complained. I was so desperate. I was relieved to be done. I was damn sure going to finish it, but I didn't have any fun doing it. And so, I don't recommend doing challenges ever, at least the solo. And, I guess the worst one would, of course, probably be the Thief solo. Because I heard he needs to be level 21 before he can even before he can even kill Astros. I'm like, could you imagine just being a shitty thief? Because at least the black belt, as he punched, as he got to level 10, his punches started doing good, and he started killing ogres one hit. Oh god, just imagine how terrible that'd be, and how often you're depending on, the random number bullshit. It's like, what if you run into some sorcerers in Ice Cave? Oh, well, you're dead. You're dead. That's the end. Oh god, just thinking about that just thinks out how terrible it is. And at least the black belt was a good guy. I never even class changed him up because apparently there was a bug where the master gets less magic defense when he levels up, and then there's some bugs that might be removed in Origins, and there's some bugs. It's like, if you're having to use bugs and glitches and cheesy shit to just remotely stand a chance, I should have done the 4 white mages. What I should have done. The 4 white mages would have been obnoxious. It would take forever, but I would have been, it would not quite bad as miserable. I don't know. Maybe it would be worse. You're all smashing shit with hammers for 25 minutes, but at least they'd be immune to attacks. I don't know. It sounds. Don't do the solo challenges. Final Fantasy 1. Don't do them. I'm rambling because rambling's all you can do. Rambling, bitching, and moaning and complaining the whole damn time I was doing this.